Hi, I'm Rachel Thompson Phillips, and today I'm going to be doing a weekly forecast for March 20th through to March 26th. So we're nearly coming to the end of our third month. So you would have heard me talk a lot about our dreams, and really is the year of chasing them, and it's the year to, just really decide that what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you want to go and chase is really, really important for you. And you may not understand everything about the journey or understand or have all of the pieces just put together just yet. That's what makes this week very exciting, because from Monday through till Tuesday is all about all of the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. So this is our very first card. So as you can see, it says this card is to honor the journey you have been on, and all the final pieces of the puzzles are drawing near. So don't quit yet. As you can see, there's tiny little pieces, just like you would see in a jigsaw puzzle. Now, what happens is when our intuition works, it doesn't give us every single part of the equation, because our brain would go into overload, and also too, the brain would then see, well, if I've got all of the pieces, then it would naturally assume that it's actually completed that task. So what it does is it drops in a little few bits of tidbits of information into your consciousness that goes, oh, I'll do this, and oh, I'll do that, or oh, that's what I was looking for, to give you those moments to be able to go, okay, well, that's the next piece or the next step in being able to complete this goal or dream that you're chasing at this point. So it's a really great card of validation, being able to show to you that it's about lifting yourself back up again. As we get really close to the end of our dreams and goals coming to fruition, our energy levels can get a little bit depleted. So this is the time to really draw from that, allow that excitement and that enthusiasm that you started your goal or dream with, to really invoke those emotional states right now, so that you can continue this next leg of your journey of being able to complete this dream or goal, and bring that same beautiful mindset in, because it really is our mindset that allows us to be able to get to the end line. We can have all of the other pieces of the puzzle put together, but if we don't have our mindset set, not so much set right, but set so that it's focused on where you go. If it's distracted, you get distracted by all of the noise and the should do's, the could do's, and make yourself get into a state of busyness. When this card comes in, it's also about that pieces of the puzzle, but it's also about, that action potential. Dreams can't come true unless we put the action behind it. So when we want to apply that action, we want to make sure that we're using our energy in a way that is getting directed towards the dreams that we want. So it brings in that direction, that clarity, and that focus. And I always say, for people that know me, I'm a really big list person. So, if you sit down maybe at the start of this week and write out, what are all the things that you would like to achieve that are helping you work towards your bigger picture of completing your dream, it allows you to stay on track. Not just that, it also gives you something as little tidbits along the way to validate the progression that you're making towards your step. By when, as soon as you cross something off your list, that's a reminder that you are putting in the effort to work towards that dream to make it become real. So that is a way to, it's always so very important to be able to validate the journey that you are on and the hard work that you're putting in. So list building is something that I'm a really big fan of. So that's Monday and Tuesday's energy. So what's going to bring through on Wednesday through till Friday is the card of limitations. So when this card comes up, it says, visualize yourself succeeding, breathe in success, and let go of limiting thoughts. As I just mentioned, when we are getting close to fruition of a dream coming true, our energy can waver. And in those moments where, our energy is really, really high, our mind is incredibly focused, but the moment our energy starts to waver, what happens is we allow limiting thoughts and doubts and all of those little things to start creeping into your mindset. And therefore you start to think of the couldas. What if I do this wrong? Or what if this is not right? And, some of those real old self-sabotage behaviors like procrastination or perfection. Perfection is also a very great way for self-sabotage, because you can make yourself so busy making sure something is 100% perfect rather than using that 80-20 rule. 80% amazing, 20% room to move and room to grow and room to make it better the next time around. So really do apply the 80-20 rule from Wednesday through till Friday. This is the moment where we use the power of visualization. If the mind visualizes what it wants, then it sets in motion and brings everything to us through an energetic imprint. The energy that we give to our visualization techniques. So, when you're going into visualize and you're visualizing yourself actually having that goal achieved, think about the whole visual picture. Go in and think about what would be the story that you would tell yourself. Would you tell yourself that you're done amazing and that you're so proud of yourself? What would be some of the auditory conversations that you would have with yourself when you've completed that goal? How would you feel when you've completed that goal? Bring in that physical sensation of allowing yourself to feel within every part of your being how great and amazing it will be for you to be able to achieve that goal. And also that knowing element, just know that within you that you are going to achieve this. When we allow ourselves and give ourselves permission to invoke all of our own natural senses, what we're doing is we're allowing that dream to become our reality. Now, one of my favorite sayings is, you're never given a dream without the reality of making it come true. This is the moment from Wednesday through to Friday is to really engage in that motto. And how we do that is through visualization. Visualization now has been studied by so many scientists to see the significance of when we activate all of our senses through a visual component, the mind really does believe that it has that. And then what does it do? Its focus becomes looking towards all of those things that it needs to be able to make that dream come true. I'll get that out in just a sec. So it's a really incredibly exciting moment because you allow that to become, you invoke and you bring up all of those beautiful, amazing senses within yourself. You're giving yourself permission to keep that dream real, to keep it alive so that you can see, taste, hear, feel, know it within you that it is just around the corner. So we have that opportunity to, it's that saying, where we focus becomes our attention. So do you want to feed the fears, or do you want to feed your dreams and know that you can have them and make them attainable? So it's a really great reminder to, again, following on from, pieces of the puzzles, as I said, writing that list, it can come in incredibly handy at this point, that even if doubts do come through, that's okay, because we don't want to deny that they're there, but we just don't want to give them that space for which they can feed on and where they can grow. So by having our beautiful list, it enables us to be able to focus. What's the next thing? I've done this. I've completed that. What is the next step for me to do? So that we know that those doubts are there, but we're not giving them permission to continue to take over our amazing mindset that we've started this week off. Then what we can do from Saturday and Sunday is this beautiful card, which is Solitude. It says, draw all your energy inwards, for there is where all the answers await. When we are so busy moving along the channels of making sure that we chase our dreams and doing all the action steps and, spending time not so much meditating. I mean, definitely if that's your thing, do it, but it's not something that everyone can do. So that visualization technique's about, connecting in with yourself. Solitude is a moment of, whenever we're chasing those dreams, we always have those little answers along the way. How do I make this happen? Or how do I make this and this connect so I can get this result? So you will always find there'll be little bits of information that we're searching for on our quest of making sure that we're chasing our dreams. This is this moment where it takes that opportunity to go in and become incredibly quiet. When we sit within our mind stays busy all the time. This is this moment to go within and just retract and go in and ask ourselves those questions. So you could see this as almost the meditation card, because it's asking you to To me, when I designed these cards, one of the most important questions that for me when designing a deck of cards was all of the answers that we ever need are within us. So that made me start questioning. I have an array of amazing decks, which you can see sort of over in the corner a little bit in this video. And that all of the cards were about looking externally, looking to, you know, angels and guides and all of those kind of things, looking external for ourselves for the answers. This is that true epiphany where it goes, I'm looking and I'm searching for the answers. I need to go within rather than searching for them externally. It's in the quietness that sometimes we oversee things while our mind is so busy, and we're, you know, because this week is all about action, it's also about, you know, this is an action step, but this is an action step that actually requires quietness and that stillness, because it's in the stillness that the answers reveal themselves that you may not hear, because sometimes our intuition, it talks to us in very quiet whispers. And when our mind is so busy about the next step or what's on the list, that's a very loud noise. So to be able to take that moment, so you could, you know, sit in the bath and have an amazing bath listening to beautiful music with candles, is a way to be able to invite this beautiful moment of solitude. You know, going and sitting near ponds or beautiful areas of water, going in nature, places where you can switch off. I also say when this card reveals itself, it's also about a matter of being able to switch off from technology. When we are so engaged in, you know, making sure we've got our phones on us all the time, connecting in with social medias, sending messages and texts and catching up with girlfriends and friends and all of those kind of things, our life gets very much consumed by technology. So this is a moment, this is something I have had to train myself to do, but a Sunday is a bit of a technology free for me. I choose whether I want to go on into my social media or engage in doing some work because my work is online, because that is my day that I give myself permission to just connect in with myself and with my family. So I also see that this is a little bit of a reminder that over the weekend to not be quite so consumed, because while we're chasing and having a look at all of that social media, sometimes we're keeping our minds active and incredibly invigorated and stimulated, whereas it's in the quietness that we're going to find those answers. And how many of you have, you know, accidentally left your phone at home and you get 5 minutes down the road and you go to almost in this state of shock because you're like, how am I going to survive without my phone? Then you find that it's beautifully quiet. And you get home, and the first thing you do is you look for that phone and see it's connected. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. You get home, and the first thing that you do is you go in and you check your phone to see who may have contacted you or what message has been left there. So, and we get ourselves back into that beautiful state, well, not so much beautiful, but that state of busyness again. So this really can be a beautiful reminder to be able to just unplug from areas in your world that are consuming a great deal of energy and bring all of that energy into yourself and ask those questions that you may have been searching for throughout the week, and to be able to just connect in with you and ask yourself, you know, how are you feeling? How is your, you know, connecting in and seeing how is your energy levels? What are some of the things that you could do to make adjustments along the way towards achieving your dreams? Do you need to maybe tweak your nutrition, bring in more water, do more exercises, you know, a way in which you get to be able to switch off? What are those things that you need to do? Not so much need to do, but can do to help bring yourself back into an alignment so that wherever you're distributing your energy is going in the channels that is going to help you be able to achieve your dream. So as you can see, the current week is about, you know, chasing those dreams, but also being incredibly mindful of where you distribute your energy, as in actions, thoughts, and feelings. So, you know, make sure that the energy that you're distributing is going in the direction of your dream. So focus and having your list building. Being mindful to distribute your mindset so your thoughts become your reality. So focus them in the direction that you want to go in. And so therefore, you know, inviting in, bringing through that visualization technique to give your energy to feed something, feed those feed those dreams rather than feeding our fears with our limitations. And then we get to have this beautiful moment where we get to distribute our energy to be able to check in with ourselves and ask ourselves any questions, check in on our energy levels, allowing ourselves to see how we feel, how we're feeling about this world. Because remember, we are more than just mind. We are emotions, we are thoughts, we are feelings. So it's important that throughout our week that we are going in and checking in with those things so that we can continue our journey and make sure that whilst we're doing that, we're staying more in alignment with our own truth. So I wish you guys an incredibly amazing week of March the 20th through to the 26th. And I look forward to seeing you next week when I do the next week's forecast. And for anyone interested in wanting to know more about the Oracle cards, I'll put a link in there for you guys. So have an amazing week. If you have any questions, please feel free to, drop me a line, email me back, and I'm happy to have a chat with you. So have a great week, guys. Much love.